Hey, kia ora. Helen Brahms here, coming live from Sun City in Arizona. Welcome to Before the Dirt Nap podcast, number 1205. It was a crazy but good day. What is a crazy but good day? Any day that you like. Started the day off as I normally do. Had a great call with somebody I met at the Leverage Conference. Actually, I met her last year at the Leverage Conference, and it's taken us up until now to actually connect and talk and find out more about what she does. And so she's going to be helping me with my LinkedIn profile and getting that all sorted out. So I can't wait to get started on that. Then I don't know what it is about Wednesdays and Thursdays, but on Wednesday and Thursday, I start on the help chat earlier in the day, like at 10 a.m. Pacific time. For some reason, last week I got it in my head on Wednesday that it was 10 a.m. time to get online, forgetting that I am now Mountain Time and it's now 11 a.m. So I got on a whole hour earlier, realized my mistake, got off for an hour, went and did some study. Then today, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, I go and log on and I'm a whole hour early again. I'm like, even though my calendar actually shows 11 a.m. start time. So I got off, did some study, went look at, actually ended up taking I went to go do some study and actually ended up taking a phone call from a potential new genealogy client. And it's actually what I'm actually going to get to meet in person this weekend, which is kind of cool because some of my genealogy clients I have known beforehand and met in person before the global pause. Some of them I have never met in person, only on Zoom. So this gentleman and his wife happen to live in the next area over. And so we're going to arrange to meet this weekend if I could find somebody to take Zeffy. My sister-in-law yesterday told me about Rover. And I go, Rover? What's Rover? Do you know that there's this really cool app out there? It's called Rover. And if you're looking for a dog sitter, a dog walker, day sitting, night sitting, boarding at their place, at the sitter's place, boarding at your place, what else was on there? Dog walking, popping in to check on your pets, because if you got cats or dogs or whatever, you can go to this thing and you can find people that will look after your pets in their home. I'm like, how did I not know about this? Here I have been pulling my hair out, trying to find somewhere to take Zeffy or to board Zeffy while so I can go to California for my niece's wedding and to catch up with the kids there and the grandkids. And I've been pulling my hair out for the last month or so trying to find somebody to take care of Zeffy because all the kennels are bored. And it's like, well, now what do I do? So I've even trying places in California and all of that. And with the way my timetable goes, I couldn't even contact the people in San Diego who looked after Zeffy. I mean, there's two wonderful ladies, absolutely adore them. Zeffy loves her time there. They challenge her and she gets through the challenges every time. They try to block off the hallway. She figures out every time how to get around it. And what was really funny is one of them said to the other one, look, we're two highly intelligent women who have trained animals our entire life. Surely we can outsmart one dog. And I looked at them and I said, it didn't work, did it? And they went, nope. But they're in San Diego, and when I drive in, I'm going straight to LA because that's where the wedding's going to be. And then from there, I will drive down to San Diego and spend some time down there. But I do also have a networking event happening Tuesday and Wednesday when I'm in San Diego, so I have to be online for that. So it's going to be a very busy, short time there. And then I've got to get back home here again because I've got to travel on the weekends. So I'm not taking more time off work. So it's crazy. And so I actually found one guy who's not far from here and sent him a message, and he goes on, and his calendar said he was available. But then when I contacted him, he only takes one pet at a time, which is kind of cool. So he's got his dog and he'll take one other dog or two if they, like brothers, sisters, whatever. And he comes back and says, look, sorry, I'd love to absolutely to take Zeffy. He said, but I'm looking after my niece's dog and they don't get home till the 27th, which is the day of the wedding. So I'm like, oh, okay. Because I wanted to do a trial run this weekend, see how Zeffy did. And then if everything goes fine, book her for the following week. And these are all people that have times available over Thanksgiving as well. So I'm back sending out messages to the pet sitters to see if they can take Zeffy this weekend for for Saturday night. So drop her off Saturday morning, take a Saturday night, pick her up Sunday afternoon, and then if that goes well, then book them for the days I'm going to be in for the short time I'm going to be in California. So it's going to be a very quick visit to California, and it's going to be the wedding, and that time that I'm in LA, that's basically the only time I'm going to have to catch up with family there. And then Monday, head down to San Diego. Tuesday, Wednesday, online for this event that I'm doing, or that I'm part of. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday with family in San Diego, and then Sunday, drive back home. So that's my time. It's very short. It's not as long as I would like to have out there, but it's a little bit now, and then I can work on later. And then I know I'm going to catch up with family again in February because I've got a niece who's getting married in Tampa. That one I'm probably going to fly out for, only because I have to be back in California, like about 10 days after the wedding, to do a cruise. So I got busy times coming up, busy times. But it's all going to be worth it, and so much fun and everything else. And so it's been one of those days where trying to find this, trying to find that, working on the chat, and then getting off the chat and thinking, and I was exhausted by the time I got off the chat. I had very little sleep last night. For some reason, even doing all my normal sleep routine, I was up and down like a yo-yo. And so got off the chat and I thought, I've got time to go take a nap before we have our mastermind call. That didn't happen. I was looking for dog sitters. Yep. And so we did the call, got off the call and looked at the clock and went, I've got to go walk Zeffie. Got back. It was 8:00. And I'm like, okay, I still have to do my live. There is no James Bond this evening because of the time and the fact that I haven't done I've done very little study today. I've read the announcement and the discussions, and that's it. I've done no study on probates today. So my study time is probably going to be me over in the recliner with my textbook, wherever I put it. Oh, there it is. And reading the chapters that need to be read. So that's going to be my plan for this evening. So no James Bond tonight, but it'll be back tomorrow with Octopussy from 1983. I had a lot of fun watching For Your Eyes Only last night, and that brought back a lot of memories about 1981, about, going to the Air Force Open Day at Ohakea, meeting my very first boyfriend there, who happened to be a fellow student with my bestie, and so she knew him and everything else. They were in classes together. And and then the three of us went to the movies. Was it that weekend we went to the movies? I think it was that weekend we went to the movies and we saw For Your Eyes Only. So my very first James Bond movie on my very first date. So it was like sitting there watching this movie last night and going, oh yeah, oh that's right, she did that and we did this and that, and going through what had happened that evening, and the movie sparked the memories of that very first date. So that was kind of cool. But it's a good movie. I like that movie. It goes so many places. And I think I put the question in there for where they go when they're in Italy, but they're actually where were they? They were on the Iberian coast because they came across a bus that had Madrid written on it. And I thought, oh, that's not Italy. I got a little mixed up on my geography last night. I apologize. It had been a long day. But, them's how the things work. And so it's all good. It's all good. So we're going to be starting up doing some more things on how to with genealogy. You're going to be doing some frequently asked questions coming up. And so if you have a question about genealogy, private message it to me. You can put there if you want your name included or not. And if you don't want your name included, it won't get mentioned. If you want your name mentioned, we can do that. That's not a problem. I had a guest lined up for tomorrow night, but unfortunately they had a conflicting engagement. So we've now got them coming next Friday, which is going to be awesome because she's a really cool person. She's a very super fantastic sparkly person too. So that's probably why we get on so well, because we sparkle so well together. But I can't wait to bring her on, and we're going to be doing a little different look. But I'm also lining up some other great experts to bring on for you on different ways, on different things that you may not think about for living your best life now. But it's all different ways to help you live your best life now, whether it's future planning, whether it's investing. Who else have I got coming on? Taking care of legal stuff so that you can live your best life now. So if anything should happen, if the unexpected should happen, everything's taken care of. Excuse me, future planning, current planning. Ooh, that would be a good person to get on. Hang on. I just have to write down a name. Excuse me. Yes. So I just thought of somebody else I could get on. That would be a very interesting discussion, that one. What else am I looking at bringing on? There's a whole bunch of people that I've got a list of names to go through that we can bring on to impart wisdom on how to live your best life now, which is, what we're all about here at Before the Dirt Nap. It's all about living your best life now. It's giving you that full life. You have your birth date and your death date, and there's that dash in between. How do you live your dash? And if you haven't read that poem about the dash, it is really cool. It's all about what you do in the dash. How full is your dash going to be before that death date comes up? So you've got your birth date and your death date, and there's that dash in between. How do you live your dash? And with genealogy and stuff, we can help find how your ancestors lived their dash. When we look at the family history is finding the story of the person. Genealogy is the facts and figures. The dates, the places, that sort of stuff. The family history brings in the stories. Who was this person? And this is where we go looking for more information through newspapers, city directories, total mind swipe. It's been a long day. City directories, census reports, because we find out what their occupation is. And when you find out your occupation, was there any associations or organizations that they may have been involved in? Looking for those. Were they involved in any community service? Looking for records on that. Where did they go to school? What type of student were they? Did they serve in the military? Can we find their military jacket? That sort of stuff. So there's a whole bunch that we can do to create this person for you to read about and learn about. That's part of your personal history. And then you can start looking at the role that they played, how they lived their dash. So we're all about living the dash here, living your best life now. Is there something on your bucket list, your travel bucket list, that you want to get off? We've got Before the Dirt Nap Adventures. I keep talking about it. We're still working on it. That's a timing issue right now. But we are getting ready to launch in 2023 some of the Before the Dirt Nap Adventures. So there is planning taking place. And in 2023, we're going to be relaunching the Before the Dirt Nap Adventures. So stay tuned for more information. And if you want to get on the list, now here's the deal with the Before the Dirt Nap Adventures. Pay attention. If you want to be the first to know, because Before the Dirt Nap Adventures are once in a lifetime opportunities to cross something off your travel list. And we are only offering that particular itinerary once. So if you like that opportunity, you're going to have to get in quick, because our groups are going to be anywhere from 8 to 30 people. So it's a very small number we're taking on these adventures. There may be occasion where we go to 40, but most of the time it's going to be 30. It would be our max. And if you want to get on the, hang on, I think I have a, oh yes. Is this the one? So if you want to be on the list, I've got to change that. Hang on. I got to make an edit in January. Actually, no. That was correct. Okay, so the Before the Dirt Nap Adventures, they are going to be once in a lifetime opportunities, because we're only going to offer that itinerary once. We may offer a similar or the same cruise later on, but what we add to it is what's going to make it different. We will be adding in, we'll be including things like shore excursions, pre and post opportunities, pre and post. So taking like a 7-night cruise and turning it into a 14 to 21 day adventure. And so we're going to be working with different things like that. There'll be like trips to the Galapagos that will include, just talking about that today. One of my early podcasts that I ever did like 10 years ago, 11 years ago, whenever it was, I was calling it the Galapagos for the whole radio show. I'd never heard of it referred to as the Galapagos before. In fact, I'd never even heard the name. I just found this thing, did this research on it. I thought, this is a really cool island, really cool series of islands. We can go there. Yay, look at all this cool stuff we get to see. So I talked this whole radio show about the Galapagos. And then afterwards, my husband told me it's pronounced Galapagos. At least I know how to spell Galapagos. Anyway, we're diverting. So, it could be a trip to the Galapagos that includes some time in Ecuador, some time in Peru. Anybody want a pizza? She's going to be happy next week. She's getting 2 bark boxes. She's getting her regular bark box and the one with the extra toys in for Thanksgiving and Christmas. Anyway, sidetracked. So there'll be trips to the Galapagos that may include Ecuador in there and Peru in there as well, including Machu Picchu, if we can get all that arranged again. The trip that we didn't get to take in 2020. Let's see what else we're going to be putting in there. It's going to be an Alaska trip that includes a couple of train rides as well. We're going to fly into one area, come down on a train through Alaska, get on a ship, get off the ship onto another train, and do some fun stuff on all of that as well. So that's going to be a whole, I think it's 21 days, the whole thing. So we're looking at those once in a lifetime itineraries. We're going to be doing like a cooking tour through Italy. There's another one that we're coming up with, safari in Africa. That may include a river cruise. We'll be putting some river cruises in there as well with certain excursions added in. So yeah, we're making it as inclusive as we possibly can. And of course, there'll definitely be... Oh, I actually got it up in her bed. I wonder if she realizes that. She doesn't. I got it up in her bed and she doesn't know. She's looking for it. Yes. Finally got her confused with the toy. Yay. Look in your bed, Zeffy. What's out the window? Zeffy, what's out the window? She's looking out the window now, but she found her pizza. Anyway, so we're looking at different sorts of adventures. So if you want to know about what's coming up, we're actually going to release it to a mailing list first. So we have the Before the Dirt Nap Adventures list. And if you are signed up on that list, you will get to hear about the adventures. And on the very first one, you'll be hearing about them in December. Then we're not putting them out to the public until January. And if everything gets sold out before we put them in public, then that's all. That's it. It's done. So they won't be going public. So the idea is to give those on the list because you registered to find out about them first, giving you guys first dibs on any of the Before the Dirt Nap adventures that come up. And you'll get told you've got a week with this, you got 2 weeks with this, you got 48 hours or 72 hours, to make a decision before we open it to the public. Because that's as a thank you of being on the list. And so if you want to get on that list, go to Before the Dirt Nap Adventures, which you can see running across the bottom, beforedirtnapadventures.com, running across the bottom of the screen there, and register. And you'll be in the first to know about all the trips as we release. They will be released to you first, anywhere from 72 hours to 2 weeks before we put them out to the public. So you'll get told in the newsletter how much time you have to book it before it's made public. And once it's made public, and they book in for you before you, and you're sort of like, oh, I really wanted to go on that one. Sorry, you had first dibs. So if you want to get in fast, because some of these trips, when we put them out there, are going to go really quick for those that are on the list, and the public won't even get a look in on some of these, because some of them are really, really cool. And I'm sort of like, oh yeah. I've even got some scheduled for 2024, and we're looking at some in 2025 as well. So we've got some really cool stuff coming up, including we are going to do a world cruise in 2025. That one's going to leave in January of 2025, and is it 90 days or 120 days? I can't remember. But we'll be putting the itinerary. That's probably going to be one of the first ones that we put out there, because the world cruises, the cruise lines, are really cool that they don't do the same. They change the itineraries every year. But you'll get to be on some amazing ships, touring the world on a world cruise, visiting different ports, different countries, different continents. So if you've ever wanted to go on a world cruise before, this will be your opportunity in 2025. But if you ain't on the list before dirtnapadventures.com, if you ain't on that list, you're not going to get to hear about it first, and you're not going to get first dibs on it. The only way you can get first dibs is to be on the list, respond to the emails when they come out, and those will basically be the only emails that you will get from us. We may even start like doing a newsletter and stuff, asking for feedback on places that you want to go. But it will all be related around the Dirt Naps, giving you hints and tips about different places that we're going to go to, giving you information on the countries we're going to be visiting, some of the stuff we're going to be doing. So it won't be spamming you other trips. There'll be newsletters with hints and tips about traveling, information on the countries we're going to be visiting, and we will start dropping hints about the next one that's going to be released, so that you're all ready to go. We may even tell you what it is. I don't know. And say, this one's coming up. We're looking at going to this country and that country. We're going to have a little surprise in here for you. And, we'll just drop little hints, and all be revealed on such and such a date when the email comes out that it's open. So you'll get pre-warning that it's coming up, so you'll get some little hints and tips along the way. But yeah, we've got a whole plan of how we're going to release this and the information we're going to be sending to you guys. So anyway, join us at Before Dirt Nap Adventures so you get first dibs on any of the trips that we release, of the adventures that we release. Some will be land, some will be cruises, some will be a combo. And yes, we will be including New Zealand, Australia, and the South Pacific Islands in there as well, because we can. But local knowledge will be used to help customize that trip. And I have a phenomenal company that I work with that is going to help make that one spectacular. That one's going to be a little on the long side for some people, though, too. But it's a case of we either spend all the time in one country or the other. If you want to split it between the two, then we're going to do 2 weeks in this one, 2 weeks in that one, and a few nights on the Cook Islands or something like that on the way home, just to wind you down and get you relaxed. And yeah, we're going to go from fast time in the States to a little slower in Australia to even slower in New Zealand to time standing still on the Cook Islands. Oh, there's a hint for you. When's that one coming out, Helen? I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Well, actually, I have. I just haven't put all the details together, and you'll have to wait and find out. Anyway, I'm out of here. Go have a super fantastic sparkling evening. Remember, go to before dirtnapadventures.com to get on the list to be the first to know. Be in the know, because we have got some coming out in December, and they will be going on sale to the public in January if there is any space available. Because you guys that are on that list, you get first dibs, and if you guys book it out, the public doesn't get to see it. So if you hear about us going to, for example, going to the Galapagos, and you always want to go to the Galapagos. Well, you weren't on the list. You didn't hear about it first. I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm out of here. Have a super fantastic sparkling evening. I'm going to go do some study. Actually, I'm going to have dinner as well. I might just do a protein shake. Have dinner, and I'm going to have an early night, do some study, and have an early night. So have a super fantastic sparkling evening. He konara.